Bienvenidos a otro video en este canal. Yo sé que disfrutan mucho este formato de cocina y preguntas, sobre todo con Daniel, así que aquí está mi invitado de hoy para que pueda responder preguntas conmigo. Welcome, bienvenido.
Bienvenido. Bienvenido. Bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos. Sí, muchas gracias. ¿Qué vamos a cocinar hoy?
Chicken, some salad. The recipe says it's called Greek chicken balls.
Sí, vamos a cocinar unos bowls de pollo al estilo griego. Así que si están interesados, pueden encontrar todos estos ingredientes a lo largo del video. Y ahora sí.
Comenzamos.
Okay, do you want to explain what you're doing?
I'm going to do all the important stuff. I mean the easy stuff, because Kathy gave me the easy stuff. So I'm just going to chop up a bunch of vegetables and then I'm going to throw it into a bowl with olive oil, vinegar and something else. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
Voy a hacer arroz. He puesto una taza de arroz y 2 tazas de agua caliente. Do you want to go with the first question now that we're cutting veggies and making rice?
Yeah, what's the first question?
A veces el pasado de mi novio me duele. No sé qué hacer con eso. By the way, this is toxic questions, toxic relationships. Relaciones tóxicas.
Oh, that's easy.
Yo les pedí en Instagram que me manden preguntas sobre el tema de relaciones tóxicas. Quería que me cuenten alguna experiencia o si tienen alguna pregunta para poder tratar de ayudarlos en este tema. Así que esa vendría a ser la primera. What do you think?
I think she's got to let it go.
Right?
I think, you know, people change as they get older, as they learn new things. So, despite the past, you know, maybe he's not that person anymore. So, I think you've got to let it go and just move on.
Todos tenemos un pasado, todos evolucionamos, todos cometemos errores. Así que pienso que, como dice Daniel, deberías dejarlo ir. For example, that there are a lot of things in Daniel's past that I would not like to see or to hear. But what I care, well, if you were with other girls and things like that. But
That sounds awful.
yeah, it sounds awful, but of course it would make me jealous to think of ex-girlfriends or ex-crushes and those kind of things. But what I care about is that you love me and that you're with me and that you only care about me.
Okay, good job.
Solo para mantenerlos al tanto, tengo por aquí yogur griego y lo voy a poner en un bowl porque vamos a hacer un tzatziki, que vendría a ser como una salsita griega deliciosa. Ok, question number 2. ¿Cómo salir de una relación tóxica? Me es muy difícil. No encuentro la fuerza y estoy acostumbrada.
Entiendo que es difícil, pero necesitan
Hacerlo.
You just have to do it. 2 things. Don't say that you don't have strength, because then you'll think you don't have strength. Just say you have got strength. Unagi.
Unagi.
Is your audience going to know that that's our friends?
I think the real Friends fans will know.
Anyway, that's when Ross is talking about
The power of mind.
power of mind, yeah.
So just so you understand how powerful our mind is.
Recently moved apartment, so I had lots of jobs to do, lots of furniture to move, lots of decorating to do. So when I was doing all this, I kept cutting my fingers and cutting my hands on knives or hammers or things like that. And I was getting cuts and injuries everywhere. So because I kept getting cuts and hurting myself, I kept shouting the F word because I'd hurt myself. So then Kathy said, I'm saying the F word too much. And she was right. And I said, right, okay, I'm going to stop saying it. And Kathy and I will make a challenge between us. Like Kathy versus me. I have to stop saying the F word and Kathy has to stop saying negative things about herself. So the challenge was we keep score each day. So if Kathy did it one day, it was 1-0 to me, 1 point to me. And then at the end of the week, whoever was winning had to buy the other person some sort of treat or present, which for Kathy is usually postres.
For you is beer.
Obviously. And we hardly ever said it. I hardly ever said the F word. Kathy hardly ever said anything negative about herself.
And the thing is that I wasn't saying negative things all the time, like, oh, I dislike myself, I'm horrible. They weren't things like that, but they were more passive things, like,
Yeah, good point.
oh, I'm too lazy. But
Yeah.
I didn't mean to call me lazy. I was just like, oh, I'm too lazy to do this. Like, I'm too lazy to go to the shop or too lazy to work out. So then Daniel pointed out, and since then I'm more aware of it. And every time I want to say something, and I'm like, oh, I'm too late. And then I'm like, oh, I think I want to do it later in another time. And the same with him. He hits himself and something happened, and he's like, and then he changes. And we laugh so much at this because it's so unconscious.
So, going back to the question,
Yes.
if you stop saying, I've not got strength, and instead say, I've got strength and I'm going to prove it by doing this.
I can do it.
That will give you the strength to do it. And do that over and over and over and over and over again. And then before you know it, toxic relationship gone, toxic anything else gone, and you'll be, you know, running the world.
También puedes pensar de que es la peor decisión que vas a tomar, que no vas a encontrar a nadie más así. Es como una adicción, vas a sentir la necesidad de querer volver a esa adicción, que es estar con esta persona, y créeme, lo entiendo, pero una vez que pases eso, que va a ser muy difícil, vas a estar agradecida contigo eternamente por haberte hecho ese favor. Dite todo el tiempo, sí puedo hacerlo, me merezco algo mejor y lo voy a hacer, y hazlo, toma acción, no esperes a que alguien te rescate porque nadie lo va a hacer, el único que te puede rescatar eres tú mismo. Ok, por aquí, mientras hablábamos, mezclé el yogur griego con pepino rallado, y ahora lo que voy a hacer es poner un poco de... Did it fall on you?
Went everywhere.
Oh, I'm sorry. Para terminar el tzatziki voy a añadir un poco de dill, que no sé cómo se dice en español. De acuerdo al internet, esto acá se llama eneldo. Es esta hierbita de aquí, así que voy a añadir un poco. Ok, chicos, acabo de mezclar el eneldo en el tzatziki. Voy a añadir un poquito más y luego voy a poner un poquito de ajo en polvo para que le dé el saborcito así tan rico. Y ahora vamos con la siguiente pregunta, que vendría a ser: ¿cómo lidias con el comportamiento tóxico de tus haters? Es una muy buena pregunta, y ¿saben qué? Creo que la mejor forma de responder eso va a ser con un video dentro de un video.
YouTube ha sido parte de mi vida por más de una década. Y a lo largo de estos años, ustedes vieron cómo una chica se convirtió en una mujer. Experimenté creando contenido. Tuve aventuras nuevas, momentos tristes y otros muy felices. Pero durante esta jornada algo fue muy constante: las críticas. Críticas sobre lo mucho que mi contenido y yo habíamos cambiado. Críticas de personas que seguían atentamente cada paso que tomaba para señalar y tratar de hacerme sentir mal por cada cambio en mi vida. Que me había vuelto creída porque mostraba más confianza. Que soy una mantenida por estar en una relación. O que me había vuelto falsa por verme distinta. A lo que yo me preguntaba: ¿acaso no es normal verte distinta cuando envejeces 11 años? Y tener más confianza si pasas gran parte de este tiempo trabajando en ti. ¿Acaso es imposible ser una mujer que trabaja y gana su propio dinero para hacer lo que se le dé la gana? Al principio me costaba leer estos mensajes porque me preocupaba lo que la gente pensaba de mí. Hasta que por fin entendí que lo único que tengo que hacer es preocuparme por lo que yo quiero y en convertirme en la mejor versión de mí misma. En vez de lamentarme por no agradarle a alguien que claramente no tiene interés en ser amable. Probablemente no es la historia soñadora de YouTube que buscan oír, pero vivir con críticas es una realidad que todos enfrentamos. Y yo le he sacado el jugo a esta experiencia. He aprendido a usar estos obstáculos como rampas para impulsarme con más fuerzas hacia la Katy que quiero ser. Siempre habrá gente con comportamientos negativos y tóxicos, pero depende de nosotros usar esos empujones como impulsos y así volar muy alto hacia nuestros objetivos.
Realmente cuando vi esa pregunta me impactó tanto y me identifiqué tanto con eso, porque obviamente tengo muchos haters como cualquier creador de contenido, que pensé que la mejor forma de contarles mi opinión y que puedan sentir un poco lo que yo siento era con un video, algo un poco más creativo para que puedan sentirme. Y si se dieron cuenta, el video es muy poderoso y el mensaje, por ende, es muy importante porque tiene música. Y ese es el poder de la música. La música puede ayudarnos a conectar con otras personas, puede ayudarnos a poder sentir lo que una imagen o una narración está transmitiendo. Simplemente te transporta a otro lugar. Y creo que ese es un tema súper importante que todos deberíamos entender en las redes sociales. Y en mi caso, quiero que mi contenido sea muy positivo y creo que la música ayuda a poder elevar ese contenido para que ustedes se sientan bien viéndolo. Así que les voy a dejar unos ejemplos de cómo sería un video mío sin música y luego uno con música, para que entiendan la magia que una sola canción puede aportarle a un video.
Con eso he terminado el maquillaje. Y con eso he terminado el maquillaje.
Walk to the left. Yeah.
A Aprovechando que estamos hablando de música, quiero contarles que mis amigos de Epidemic Song están lanzando Epidemic Song México para que creadores de contenido y artistas puedan tener esta plataforma y usarla al máximo con todos sus audios y efectos de sonido que son de la calidad más increíble que se puedan imaginar. Toda la página web está completamente traducida al español, así que va a ser mucho más fácil para creadores de contenido o personas que quieren escuchar música poder navegar y encontrar exactamente lo que quieran. Hay más de 35.000 canciones y 9.000 efectos de sonido, lo cual es bastante increíble al momento de buscar música. Así que si están interesados en probar Epidemic Song y crearse una cuenta, voy a dejarles un link para que puedan checarlo ahí y recuerden que tienen 30 días gratis para que lo prueben y deciden si les gusta o no. Ahora sí, vamos con la siguiente pregunta.
Es bueno dar segundas oportunidades.
I'll
See?
say it depends.
What does it depend on, Katy?
I have learned that if someone the first time shows you that doesn't respect you, doesn't want to be with you, that doesn't value you as a human being or a partner, a mother, a daughter, whatever kind of relationship you have, you should not give them a second chance. Because if you had such an important relationship with this person, that person should know your boundaries.
And standards.
And standards. Of course, if it's a relationship and you haven't talked about that with your partner, okay, that's understandable. Give that person a second chance. But if that person knows very well what hurts you, what makes you happy, what makes you angry, what scares you, and that person does it, I think that speaks a lot about the person itself.
Define your standards for you and for other people to know, and then make people live up to them.
Yes. Also, if you feel you wanna forgive that person no matter what we say, because we're here to give you advice but not to tell you what to do. You're free to do whatever you think is best for you.
And we're wrong. We could be wrong.
Yeah, we're not perfect. But if you feel you want to give this person a second chance, that's 100% fine. But please don't give this person 3, 4, 5, 6 chances, because that just means that that person will feel comfortable and think it doesn't matter what I do, this person will always forgive me.
And it will seem like your standards are lower than they are.
Yes.
Because you let someone get away with breaking them.
You have to set a limit. Everybody needs to have a limit. Ya terminé el tzatziki y me he demorado la vida en hacerlo porque he estado conversando, pero una vez que le puse sal y pimienta, eso está increíble. Voy a ponerlo en el refrigerador y ahora vamos a calentar esta sartén de aquí para cocinar el pollo. Mientras la sartén calienta, vamos a leer la siguiente pregunta y viene así. ¿Cómo no sentirme insegura cuando ya me ha dado motivos?
The onions are making me cry.
Oh no, don't be so sensitive. It's okay.
Well, I think no one can really give you a reason to feel insecure. You can only let them make you feel insecure. So it's up to you, really. Like, if someone says something about you, that doesn't mean it's correct. And usually, things that motivate people to say negative things about someone else is because they're having a bad day, or they feel down or upset or insecure themselves. So almost always, the reason why they say, in this case, the insecure thing, is because of something that's going on with them. Nothing to do with you.
It's a reflection of them. For example, Daniel answered that in a situation that I see as someone in school or at work being treated poorly by someone. So, but then what if that's happening in a relationship? What if a boyfriend or a girlfriend has given this person a reason to don't trust them? He has shown them that maybe they talk in their back about them, or that they are cheating on them, or that they are talking to other girls. Like, will it be the same advice? I think it will be a little bit different, because you cannot just say, oh, I don't care.
I think that then switches to becoming more of a disrespectful thing than an insecure thing. Yeah, sure, that will make you feel insecure, but it's more that it's disrespectful, and you have to do something about that. You can't let that go on. To be honest, I don't really understand what you're saying.
No, you said it perfectly.
But everything you said, I didn't really understand what
So, for example,
I don't understand the way you're looking at this.
Oh, I saw it differently. I saw it like, I imagine a girl saying, I told my boyfriend that it makes me that it gives me insecurity if he goes out with his ex-girlfriend to have lunch, and he still does it.
I took it to mean something like a boyfriend said, you know, you shouldn't wear that dress because you're putting a little bit of weight and you can tell in that dress.
I will hate that. Okay.
I've read this question to mean someone has pointed out a characteristic, like something about someone's appearance, and said something negative about that, but you think it's something different.
I see it more on that trust side, but I mean it's valid to see it both ways, and hopefully these answers will help you in any kind of situation you are. But I feel like all this like toxic relationship topic goes around the idea of just setting your standards and your value. I think no one will be able to hurt you or to drag you into that toxic vicious circle if you just learn to say no, I don't deserve this, I don't want it, and I'm not gonna let your opinion or your insecurities make me feel bad about myself.
Yeah, I think everybody in relationships, out of relationships, should set standards and live by them.
I think that's the hardest thing of all, just taking action and putting a consequence to
of course.
when a boundary of yours is broken. You know?
It is very difficult, but that's the price you've got to pay for having high standards.
Yeah.
And having high standards, even though it might be difficult at first, because you've got to take those actions, ultimately in the end, it will definitely be worth it. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like that. Good job. Vamos a hacer una pausa en las preguntas solo para que sepan en dónde estamos. Por aquí tengo pollo que corté chiquitito. La receta es con pollo molido, pero como no encontramos pollo molido, compramos pechugas de pollo y las cortamos chiquitititas. Y he añadido sal de cebolla, ajo en polvo, orégano, comino y
Casi listo.
el ingrediente secreto, canela. Oh, damn it, holy patootie. We forgot to put the onion.
What, in there?
Yeah.
It's alright, never mind. We'll just have it like this.
And I'm going to put some fresh parsley. Well, once it's... Oh, we'll put it now. El arroz ya secó un poquito y ahora lo que voy a hacer es poner un poco de jugo de limón. Es parte de la receta. I will protect you. He mezclado el limón con el arroz. Solo he puesto un poquito, no quise exagerar. Y luego voy a poner sal, pimienta.
¿Quieres vinegar and ensalada?
Sí, just a little bit. Yeah. Y voy a poner el eneldo creo que se llamaba.
¿Quieres olive seed?
Sí. Ya hemos terminado todos los componentes del plato. Lo único que me faltó fue poner una cebolla aquí. Y esta es la parte complicada de estos videos. Cocinar mientras dar consejos es tarea difícil, déjenme decirles. Así que ahora vamos a pasar a las últimas preguntas mientras servimos los platos. Esto de aquí se ve increíble. Mi pregunta es si está mal estar celosa o me moleste que mi novio se siga hablando o viendo con su ex. My answer is that, first of all, that person is with you and not with his or her ex. So that says a lot, but it also depends on the vibe that these meetings or talks with the ex-boyfriend or girlfriend are having. So, in my opinion, if I was in your situation, because it's not my situation with Daniel, I will be 100% honest with him and tell him, hey, look, I feel a little bit jealous and it bothers me that you're speaking with your ex-girlfriend. You know, I have like a challenging past where I was cheated on, and this like makes me feel a little bit insecure. And I think if your boyfriend loves you and respects you, Daniel loves me and respects me, he will say, oh, like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that. Look, we're speaking because I'm still returning some things to her house, or because we are, I don't know, he can give you ABC reasons. And I think after you understand that, and if he does the explanation with love and respect, everything should be okay. And if he loves you and he knows that it upsets you, he might stop doing it. But if he reacts defensive and hurtful, or like in a way that it's just not vibing with you, I think that's a red flag.
It's okay to think that, like, you know, most people, if not nearly everybody, probably would as like a first reaction. Like Katy said, it depends on, you know, why they're meeting, what they're doing. So I think the first thing would be, you know, get a bit more information on that.
Yes.
And figure out a bit more. There will be people in the world, I mean, you know, you hear of celebrities who aren't together, have good relationships with their exes because maybe they've got kids or something like that. Or maybe they've realised, you know, they're just better friends. So it does happen, it's possible, but to answer the question, yeah, I think it's okay to feel that way. Just try and get more information. And like Katy said, hopefully they should just respect you and realise this is something that's potentially very difficult for you.
I think the first step will be just open up and
Yeah, for sure.
tell the truth.
You have to speak to the partner, yeah.
100%. And if you are embarrassed because you think maybe you're toxic for feeling jealous, no, I think anybody will feel
Yeah, just ask, that's fine.
jealous. If you don't have information, yeah, of course it's weird that, of course it will make uncomfortable, saying like, ooh, why is he seeing his ex? Like, I will feel that. Okay, we will clean up a little bit and we will get back to you with the next question. Ya tenemos todo seteado para comer y estamos muertos del hambre, pero mientras lo hacemos vamos a responder la última pregunta. Reviso los mensajes en redes de mi novio. Él no sabe que tengo sus claves. If you are going to do that, I think you should be ready to come out clean and be honest. And just say, I'm sorry, I checked your messages, I invaded your privacy and nobody should go through that. But then maybe explain what took you to that extreme, to that place. And you have a reason, it's valid to explain, but please tell the truth, tell what you did. And then if you don't find something that confirms your theory and he's doing something bad, whatever you consider bad, then you need to have a plan. You need to have an action. There needs to be a consequence. You cannot just go snooping around people's things and then finding something that is making you suffer and just decide not to do anything with it. You need to do something, and of course tell the truth. Say, look, I was suspicious about you and this girl. I saw that you're flirting over message. I checked your phone. I'm so sorry for that. But this relationship is over. This is not good for me and this is going to be the end. Wish you the best, but let's don't waste our time. Bye.
See, I agree with everything you said. Hello, I think there's a much bigger problem. If you're checking someone's phone for messages or anything else, it's just because you don't trust them. The source of that problem. So you have to go after the source of the problem. Yes. And find a way to trust each other. And the first step to doing that is communicating honestly.
Yes, Daniel and I have each other's passwords for everything, but that doesn't mean that he has the right to go check my stuff and vice versa. And something that I really like about Daniel in the very beginning of our relationship was that, I don't know what happened, I don't remember because it was a long time ago, but he told me, next time, instead of assuming and just feeling bad, and just maybe creating stories in your head, ask me. You should trust me enough to ask me straightforward.
Okay.
And that gave me so much tranquility because whenever I have any kind of like thought or insecurity, or you know how sometimes we can be very, or I can be very dramatic.
Who's we?
Human beings.
See, good one.
Just feel comfortable enough in your relationship to be able to share this. Sometimes I'm like, oh Daniel, I'm just feeling very needy or feeling very insecure. I just need love. I just want you today to love me more than other days, because sometimes I just feel like that and I feel confident enough in the relationship to be like that with Daniel, and he loves me that way. I hope so.
Good job.
And like Daniel mentioned, just to sum up before we eat this delicious thing, when it comes to toxic relationships, everything is about having boundaries, having standards, telling yourself positive things instead of negative that will just keep you trapped in this toxic relationship, and unagi.
And act on the standards that you set.
Make your actions match your words.
Tengo mucho hambre.
Vamos a mostrar el resultado final. Esto se ve increíble. Espero que hayan disfrutado de este video, y si quieren ver más de este tipo de videos, déjenlo en los comentarios para poder hacer más de ellos, y nos vemos la próxima vez. We're saying bye.
Ciao.
Bye. Yay!